Rose City Saint, or Unos, who's racing tonight. They've all placed well in tournaments over Zelda 2, and they contend with each other a lot, so it will be an interesting game to see what they do. As you can see, this game right now is a standard bracket seed. However, they chose to have starting maximum heart containers shuffled, so they could have started with 1. However, the game decided to give them 8. That's a pretty nice deal.
So the way I misread it at first was actually the reality. So RCS forgetting one small detail about this. With all of the spell items acquired at the beginning, that includes the items like the mirror. So you don't even have to go into that house and pick up the mirror.
Yeah. Well, wait, you don't have to go into the house to pick up the mirror now?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about that when the spell items option. I keep going in the house grabbing the mirror anyways. But anyways, Saria having its proper spell light.
Now you saw there that trails up an aid to get back to the Northern Palace. That can often be faster. Yeah.
You're just going to be walking out 3 screens anyways out of town. Might as well up A, walk 1 screen out of the North Palace, and then you're back on the world map.
Yeah. You'll see racers do stuff like that pretty often. I think RCS was doing the mental math on that one and not quite sure which one would be faster.
Unos has found a very painful screen here, as you can see from his name. He got trapped by some red Dairas and all these goblins here, or whatever they're called, moblins.
I don't think that's what his name is about. But yeah, absolutely. And, RCS and Trails finding another town, Rudo, and going to pick this one up because they basically have a trophy. It's going to be nice for them.
Yeah, 3 spells in every town. You don't have to look for the spell items. We'll see what they can do.
Life and Thunder. Thunder required. Life, useful. Maybe a little bit less useful when you have 8 heart containers, though.
They can't cast either of those spells at Magic 1. They only have a total of 64 MP right now, but those totals usually come down pretty quickly as they level up.
Now, among the flags that we have activated and not activated are the hint type is set to normal, which means that the people in town that you talk to, I mean, that's just for your enjoyment only. They don't actually have anything useful to tell you.
Yeah, you're not going to find out where the glove or flute is from them. Did I say the glove?
It's like a glue flute, I think. Yeah, it's a glove flute. It's close enough.
Yeah, it'll work.
I kind of want to see that now. I kind of want to see like a power glove type thing where someone has like glue, like a flute strapped to their glove or glued to it.
Yeah, well, that flute is pretty versatile. Like, many people use it as like a plunger, you know?
Yeah, it looks just like one. All right,
Mido giving our players the Fairy spell. Also can't cast it, but that's a nice set of spells. Fairy, Thunder, and Life to begin. Not bad.
Yes, indeed. I guess they can't cast it yet, or did they start?
No, it's like 70-something MP, so at Magic 1 they can't cast it.
Yeah, I would have figured against the Moblins, would be using Downstab, so
I guess you get a quick magic level here, you should be able to cast Fairy, and you get your Downstab, and you're done with Mido.
Yeah, that, even though it might have you waiting around a little bit longer to get a level or 2 of magic, not going too far from start, or however you want to route that, it will help in the long run because Downstab is just such a versatile technique, and it's going to make all these encounters
faster. As you can see right there, Rose City Saint just got his level up, and Fairy just dropped to 45, so we can use that magic too.
Oh, that's actually fairly cheap for just one level of magic. And they found GP, a very pink GP on the coast.
Yep, giving them something to look forward to later.
Trail's life is in kind of critical condition, but he's not going to cast the life spell because he can't. And also because he wants to keep his magic to get Downstab like everyone else. Like RCS is doing right now.
And we'll see if they up A out of the Downstab house here. And no, Rose is going to walk himself out.
I probably would have up A'd in this particular case. I mean, they're still pretty close to the start. He only has 20 experience, too. It's not like he's holding on to that much. Then again, compared to these three racers, I am not quite as skilled. I think that can be accurately said.
Do you really need that much skill when you have 8 heart containers in this seed here? Just, I would be surprised if Trails die. Like,
Maybe he's doing it just for the fun. And looks like we have P5 on our RCS screen by the lake with a little bridge there.
so we have Great Palace, Palace 5, and we're waiting to see the other dungeon hidden on the west.
Now, technically, they can do Palace 5. The only thing that can block in Palace 5 is a ferry required room, but they have that. But it would be very painful to do Palace 5 right now with ferry at 45 magic.
We're not doing Palace 5 with Attack 1 unless they go in there just to look for the item. Like, maybe the Wrap could be in Palace 5, but they're not going to be looking for Gooma. They're not going to be looking to complete the dungeon right now.
Yeah, that would be kind of suicidal. And I mean, you can get a lot of experience in P5, but that probably won't pan out, honestly.
Yeah, P5 is a great place for leveling up, but they've got plenty of spots to check to level up right now.
Absolutely. And one of the things about Zelda 2 Randomizer is that quite often it's best to explore on the overworld first. Going into palaces and diving for items before you finish clearing the overworld is a serious gamble. There's a lot less chance of it paying off than just clearing the whole overworld. Because
it depends on the dungeon, depends on what you have to clear the overworld, depends on a bunch of things, but usually, yeah, the rule is look through the overworld first before you force yourself into a dungeon.
Yeah, there's only 6 items in the dungeons throughout the game. Wait. Yeah, nope, 7. No, yeah, 6. My brain is not...
Great Palace doesn't have an item yet.
Yeah, that'd be cool, though. It's got some lives that are hard to get to sometimes. That's about it. But yeah, there's only 6 possible item locations, and that's throughout all the dungeons. But the overworld, which is much easier to access, has many, many more items locations than that. A lot of the items they're going to find now are going to be
Rose is going to ferry right through the other side of Saria right here, so he's going to get himself to the other side of the west. The other players haven't really found a way around, so I don't know if this is the only way over to the other side.
That's pretty smart, actually. It's probably not the only way. It seldom is, but it's the fastest way, and it's the way where you second-guess yourself the least. Looks like we got P2 here. And RCS picking up the potion because he knew it would be there since he'd seen P5 already. Magic Container Cave, a nice easy item to get. Probably going to be a P-Bag because there are 4 items.
And that should be the town of Raru, I believe, right next to the cave. So they should get their full spell in the west.
Yep. Here we got a P-Bag, but as much as the P-Bag doesn't directly help them, it's going to... now's the best time to get it. You know, getting a P-Bag late in the game, you might just burn that experience, but early in the game, you can get several levels off of it, and those increase your speed at which you go through the game.
Unos has decided to go through the other cave here, the medicine cave. We'll see what's located within this cave. There will be no medicine found in this cave, as spell items are turned, which is why you're seeing more... Also, with the 8 heart containers, this is why we're going to see a lot of P-Bags this seed. No spell items, no heart containers to be found. That's
7.
Yeah, that's going to be a bunch of P-Bags and extra 1-ups around.
Yeah, 7 whammies, plus whatever whammies were in the original game. Like the 200-point P-Bags and stuff.
But at least Larry is still in the Northern Palace. We got the spell in Raru.
That's a nice spell to get.
Oh, Trail Z! That's
nice.
Medicine counter is one of those fun tiles. As you can see from Unos, he's just taking the raft back out of the cave.
Yep, I love those tiles. They're the magic carpet ride, if you ask me. That's what I call them, or think of them as.
I don't really know exactly how or what starts that glitch where you jump on the raft as you enter a cave, but it all works out fine, as I guess you take the raft right back out when you leave.
It's logically consistent. Dick Shake explained it to me
logically
once.
consistent. I don't know about going on a raft over the mountains on, like, off the world map, but you know.
Well, I mean, you take it back, so...
Yeah, you take it back. It's like a floating carpet, maybe? Floating raft.
Yeah. Made out of wood. And they don't even have the raft yet, which is the fun part. Yeah, Dick Shake explained it to me once. I think it might have to do with like the vertical position of the cave or something like that. I don't really remember.
Well, Unos is in Magic Cave here. We're gonna find out one of our other items located in this cave.
Another 200 points. Yeah, this is the one RCS got, so...
Oh. Okay, so I guess the only cave we're missing... Have we seen Trophy Cave? I don't think we've seen Trophy Cave yet.
Nope, and I don't think we've seen Peabag Cave either, have we? There was one blocked by a boulder, so it's probably... One of those two caves is going to be the boulder block cave, probably. That's funny. That enemy in that cave, for all three runners, dropped a 200-point Peabag, I think.
Okay, the drops I've heard are on a set, basically, so the drops they get will always kind of be in like the same order for the players, like for the big enemies or whatever at the start of the seed. I've heard that. I don't know if it's entirely...
Yeah, I think the drops for this particular one are set to... There's not going to be any 500-point Peabag drops.
Yeah, that's way
jars,
too much.
50-point Peabag drops and 200-point Peabag drops, I believe. Yeah, it's manually selected drops. It's not randomized this time. Poor Larry. Well, we got the grass tile. That's a nice, easy item to get, and RCS should be picking it up now, unless he already did and I missed it.
Nah, he's on his way there. Who's gonna get it first? RCS or Unos? Unos just sneaks in and gets the magic container.
Ah, there we go. Trail's jumping into, what was this, P2? P... Oh, no, this is P3. This could be a bad move, because there are two glove blocks here, and Unos just picked up the glove in
wow.
Trophy Cave.
Glove is a really nice early pickup for our runners here.
Yeah, this probably isn't going to work out for Trails, I'm thinking. It's going to be painful getting through this palace. Unless he gets lucky. Less painful for Unos, though. He's jumping into the same palace. One nice thing about P3 is this very open this very open item drop.
Might work out for Trails. He gets an item room. I think... Is this the item room?
Yeah. It's probably going to be a P-bag, though, and he's not going to be able to pick it up with Fairy. That's unfortunate. I'm going to guess. Trail's trying to be tricky with his down stabs. Okay, it's the raft. Well, that worked out then.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent.
Hopefully he doesn't leave.
Unos, he's in the same dungeon too, so he's about to pick up that same thing, right?
Hopefully he does. I'm sure he will. He's in this palace. He's not going to leave without the simple item. Yeah, he's in this room. He's going to get the item.
Because basically, if the raft is not going to be located in this dungeon palace 3 right here, they've got to go into either Death Mountain at this point, or the last cave here that Rose City Saints finding Heart.
Yeah, and I'm always hyped for Death Mountain, but we might not get that this time with the glove and the raft already obtained. Those are some of the important items. They still need to get the flute. Oh, and RCS gets a flute.
So here's the thing that I'm wondering right now. Okay, Oh, that's why Trails left the Palace 3. He didn't have the glove. You're gonna see
Yeah.
Unos, he's gonna stay in Palace 3 because he has the glove right now. I assume once Trails finds the glove, he'll beat the dungeon, and RCS will go in and beat the dungeon.
To be honest, I'm a little disappointed. They have basically everything they need to beat the game. They could need... So, they're almost in go mode. Or they're almost full dig shake, rather. It's possible they'll need the boots. But that's not always the way it works out. It's possible they'll need the hammer.
This room you rarely see in Randomizer. One of the rooms you go in to get extra keys in vanilla here. Because he needs them keys.
Yep. Right now they can only cast Fairy once.
Yeah, they can only cast it once. They have 80 MP total, and Fairy is like 45, I think.
This is an unusual move from RCS. Digging Death Mountain without checking all the other item locations.
Well,
maybe
he found the cave, he's here, he might as well poke inside. He's got good information to see that Spectacle Rock is right there and accessible.
Yeah. And I don't blame him. I do this kind of stuff all the time. But I think typically he avoids Death Mountain like the plague. That's just his style.
Yeah, well, to him right now, he knows either there's going to be an item here or he's got to jump into one of the dungeons to get the raft.
Does he have the glove yet?
This could be bad, though, for Roasty, saying it is a wide-open Death Mountain, so he will be looking through, or I guess checking a bunch of these caves here.
Well, at least he can get to them easily. But, yeah. It
just means walking out is going to take you exactly twice as much time.
Oh, well, he found the other entrance, so...
He might as well, he's got a way out of Death Mountain now.
Yeah, at least he's picking up nice experience from the Red Dairas, and he's at Magic 4. That might actually be a nice advantage for him. Although, Unos just picked up Magic 4 recently as well. Okay, RCS has found a Hammer Cape. The only really helpful item this could be would be the hammer, assuming Reflect is in Nukasudo.
It could be the hammer, could be the boots.
That's about it, though. Oh, a magic key would be very useful.
Magic container.
Not required.
A magic container could be useful later in Nukasudo or something, but yeah, he's hoping for something like the hammer, and here are the boots.
Yeah, if it's another P bag, that's going to be sad. Well, I think he's hoping to get this level so that he can up and A out of this place as soon as he picks up the item. So that's why he went and killed that orange Daira. Meanwhile, Unos is going through one of the blocks in P3 and picking up the key in the bottom. Something, again, you don't see a lot of runners do. But he wants to be done with his palace. And I'm actually a little bit surprised he's going the long way to get back up. It's easier to get up this way, but it is possible to get up through that shorter route. Oh, he's already been in the other direction. Okay, that makes sense. Just the color palette for P3 is easy on the eyes. Oh, no! It was a P-bag all along.
Yeah, he's not going to be too happy with that P-bag pickup. But here's the thing, yeah.
Magic 5 at least? Hopefully he can cast Fairy twice.
This Palace 3 seems to be going the distance for Unos. He's been in this dungeon for a little bit. Trail Z is finally caught up and making his way back here after he found the glove.
And that's the right move to do. He can finish this palace, so he might as well. Oh, okay. Trail Z not wanting to take advantage of his red jar there and cast life. It's a little unusual. And now we got the Ack Fight between Unos and Ack.
Well, Ack's horse seems sick today. That's not Ack's life. That's the horse.
But if anyone can recover from that and take that to a quick conclusion, it's Unos. In fact, I think Unos doesn't really like the corner strats for this particular enemy, the Pogo in the corner. I think he and Dig Shake like to end it quickly. with
It depends on the number
stabs
of
to the head.
things, how much life you have, the time your attack level, and all of that. Like the pogo can be the fastest strategy if you have low attack level. But if you have a high attack level, just like in vanilla all keys, those Rebos in Palace 6, you just take out right at the onset.
So he has placed the first gem and can just say goodbye to that. At this point, I kind of... Okay, so GP is on this continent, and it's not that far from... All right, where was GP? Was it in the northern section that they had to get the pass-through to, or was it...
No, GP
P5?
was right next to start.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So we got 5 and GP and start in the bottom section and P3 in the top section. So that's all the palaces here. I don't expect Enos is going to do P5 yet. He's going to probably route that in his victory lap.
He might make his way over to Palace 2 after he checks this item cave here he found. With the flute inside, not too bad. Rose City Saint has also picked that up. That will help him get access to one of the dungeons in the seed. It is a necessary pick. Now, I figure Unos is going to complete Palace 2 before he leaves. Wait, it was Palace 3,
It was
5, and
Palace
Great
3 and
Palace.
5, yeah. So I think he's going to
Does he
leave
go?
Palace
Okay,
5.
so my apologies. Does he go to complete Palace 5, or does he leave the West first? He might leave Palace 5 for last, because the Great Palace is already on the...
Yeah, I think he's going to leave Palace 5 for last and just get that right before he hits GP. That's just good routing, but if anyone has the confidence to take on Boss Guma with lower levels and you might get it later, I mean, that would be Unos. He loves trying to get the upstab.
Well, Unos and these players have way more health than they're used to when they normally fight Guma in a lot of these randomizer seeds. So, like, fighting Guma with what they have right now is not going to be an issue. It's just more going to be, like, how long it takes to get to him for the most part.
Well,
Because
yeah,
they still
exactly.
only have enough MP to cast Fairy once. Palace 5 is a big dungeon. You don't want to get, like, MP and Fairy blocked going through the dungeon.
Yeah, exactly. And, if you end up picking up the magic key somewhere, that's gonna make the whole dungeon take less time. And, why fight Boss Guma at, attack level 4, or I think 5 in the case for Unos, when you can do him at, like, 7. Attack level 5 at this stage for Unos is pretty good. He must have chosen his levels very wisely.
And then there's finding lots of P-bags.
Yeah, but the other racers have found all those P-bags too, I think.
He I think, flew his level in Palace 3.
Yeah, that's the way a lot of racers like to do it, if you can. But it's generally not worth going back and doing stuff for. Well, he's doing P5, so he doesn't want to route that in with the GP victory lap. That's cool. Oh, he has upstab already. I didn't see that was randomized. My bad. So they actually don't need to go get upstab. Unless I missed him going into the other continent and going into...
There's no way. They should both have all have upstep then.
Yeah, and this is P5. This is not a palace on another continent, so yeah. Must have just been randomized in with the start.
We'll see if Trails goes right over to the east, or if he does the same thing and dive to P5.
Oh, there you go. I mean, honestly, it's not really that much of a difference. Yeah, I mean, P5 is on the way, whether you're doing it on the way to the coast or whether you're doing it on the way to GP.
Unless all of our racers know something about Guma that we don't know already. Like, maybe they're having some secret affair.
They can't stay away. Oh, hey, Korak. Sorry, I didn't see you in chat. How's it going? All right, we got RCS at Ribenac with the sick horse.
It's got 1 life left, but it should be fine.
don't think he's going to be able to get attack level 5 out of this because he got magic level 5. So his next magic level is going to be pretty high, I think. But he'll probably pick up magic level 6, which might be more useful.
It depends what he's planning on doing next. If he's going to Palace 5 here next, maybe he wants that level.
So his next level is actually going to be life 6. Now, that actually can be a curse. If you're trying to death abuse and you've got 8 heart containers and a
I don't know what our
life
Razor's
level.
obsession with life today is. They have 8 heart containers. They're like, oh, I'm too scared.
I'm sure that's exactly what it is. No, I think it was just that, sometimes you know, a few years ago, players tended to try to game the level up system quite a bit in races, and I feel like most of the better players have discarded that strategy as time has gone on. And so I guess RCS is just like, I'm going to discard that strategy, even though I know I can pick up Magic 6 right now. Yeah, because these guys can beat
Palace 5. Otherwise, yeah, some trails have been here for a little.
I'm actually wondering if that high life level is going to bite him in the butt. I guess we'll see as time goes on. Well, P5 being long and annoying as usual.
Like, yeah, P5 will leave Guma for later. I'm going to jot right to the...
Yep. Alright, well, we got a quick item location on the eastern continent. There's only 2 caves that have items. Hey, magic container. Nice, nice. Now there's a 2/3 chance that he'll be able to get the item in Nukasudo, but he can't get into Nukasudo without the hammer. You know what could actually happen, and probably not, but if the hammer is in P5, and these guys are just trying to get through it to get their quick crystal, and then they're going to go east and discover that they need the hammer to get reflect or something out of Nukasudo, that could be a thing. Very unlikely, but doing P5 early would in a case like that really bite you in the butt. Because you're not going to want to go back and do P5 again after you beat Boss Guma.
Well, they've been exploring a lot of rooms in this Palace 5, so when you explore this many rooms, like, you don't want to miss the item. Like, you kind of want to grab the item if you've seen this many, because if it's something you need, and you miss it after you've explored this many rooms, you're not coming back here for a long time.
That's true. They've already done a lot of P5, so you might as well do all the rest of them. RCS is going into these desert encounters. For those who don't know, out of the 4 desert encounters on East, one of them has an item. And the others have, like, P-bags and other stuff like that.
Okay, so Rosie saying he went to the Three-Eyed Rock. What dungeon was that? Did anyone see? Or did you see?
It was
and
P4.
That's also Nukasudo right there, that forest top.
Oh, yeah, nice. So he stepped onto it and it didn't take him into a forced encounter? All right. Yeah, Korak. It's a little dead in here today. Just how it is. In fact, it's a little dead in the race. These are actually our only 3 racers today.
No, we had 2 racers up until, like, right before we started this tournament. We had more support staff than racers.
Yep. Oh, cool. We got the water spot, but no boots to go with it. Boots could also be a acquired item, of course. It could be some long trading sequence. Well, Trails got to Boskuma.
Trails always knows the secret route here. Let's see how he handles the fight. Okay.
Alright, so RCS is going in here. Hopefully he doesn't forget that he has upstab. Okay, good, he didn't. Getting the spell. If this is reflect, then there goes my great theory. Or my great hope, as it were. Oh, dang. I didn't even see what it was.
It's a long fight against Skooma here for Trails with his level 4 attack. but he's taken the fight safely, and he should be able to close it out.
If we see RCS going into any more towns, we know he didn't get Reflect, because he doesn't need anything else from towns except for Reflect. And items, possibly from New Kasuto. Alright. Pretty good leveling up. If Trails had skipped that level, he would have been... he would have gotten life level 6 and only gotten like 100 experience from the statue, so that was a good choice. Just to take the magic level and then get the life level.
Well, we have Unos fighting Guma here as well. Life 4 instead of life 5. You can see like a single hit does like 4 bars of damage or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess one thing you should definitely do when you're finishing off a boss is make sure you know how much, like, make sure you're paying attention to how much experience you had before you killed him and how much experience he gave you, because when you're on that level up screen, you can't really see.
It was a pretty nice fight from Unos. You can see he's been practicing on getting inside that hitbox of Guma's. He was down stabbing right on that neck in there, so...
Yeah, he's one of the only racers that I see do that.
So RCS just picked up the reflex spell in Nibiru here.
Okay, cool. Well, so that kills my hope. Then that D5 is going to be a deal maker or breaker. Unos is going back in for the item, though, probably hoping for one of the important items. Smart stuff. He's already seen most of it, as we've talked about. RCS just finished picking up the last of those items. Oh, no, wrong cave. This is a
The only possibility of something really being required right now could potentially be, like, the boots, depending on the makeup of the world map and where the dungeons are located, seeing as we do have all the other stuff.
Well, that past cave was a bust for RCS. Just like a graveyard in the mountains.
You take the one wrong cave and... oops.
Well, on the bright side, RCS might find out the item in P5. Oh, actually, no. We're going to see what the
RCS is probably going to run back to Palace 4 or something like that. He's also got to look for Maze Island, and there's a dungeon in there he can do, and Death Valley's dungeon. I don't know why he's checking this path here. I don't think there's anything on the other side of this desert thing, but we'll see.
Yeah, just another little bit.
Spotted like a dungeon on the other side of it somehow, but I think this is a waste.
Yeah, when you're walking around, it's nice to try to...
Like, he's already got 2 other or more open locations you can go to, but we'll see. Trails, on the other hand, is catching back up, and Unos... I didn't see what the item was in Palace 5.
It was a pea bag.
Oh, man.
So that was a bust, but it didn't cost him that much time.
It was enough time for Trails to zoom ahead here.
Oh, yeah,
there's only 3 racers, that little bit of that 1 minute, I called that, don't take that desert path, Rose City Saint, that's begrudgingly, is forced to...
Yeah, don't go chasing waterfalls, you know, just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. I want to see a waterfall in this game. Dig shake. Put in a new encounter tile called a waterfall. I'll make the graphics.
I got a phone call right now. I got to catch. I'll be right back in about 5 minutes, okay?
For sure. Alright, so RCS does have the exploration advantage. And even though he took that dead-end path through the mountains on the desert, he will be able to do the P4 dungeon, which was kind of on his way through here. And now that he has Reflect, yeah, he can do it without hesitation. Hopefully it's an important item to help get him a little bit more caught up. Because I would say he is a little bit behind Trails and Unos, but maybe not necessarily by a lot. But, oh wow, that was a quick up and A. Maybe think he was going to go back to start. There There's that reflect spell for Trails. He's got all his spells. But he doesn't want to walk back to P4 from here. No, I don't mean that. I would make him fresh, like a biscuit, like a scone out of the bakery. Yeah, that did really hurt him. Well, I found the item in P4. Oh no, never mind. Wrong room. Now we got the item in P4. Hopefully it's good. Nope. It sucks. And he's got like no magic, so he's gonna have to get himself killed by Karok if he comes across Karok before he dies. Oh, he's got to get himself killed right now. Now his life 6 choice is gonna haunt him. I mean, it's not a huge loss of time. They're taking almost a bar with each hit. If it was randomized number of lives and it was randomized low, or if it was just set to a low number, then yeah, life levels become a little bit more tempting. So Trails actually did come back to P4, so he's going to high-five RCS at some point, probably. Oh, a key dead end.
Alright.
Oh, and Trails found Karok right away.
Seems Rose City St. Trails are in Palace 4. Did I miss anything in here?
Just RCS finding a bunch of dead ends, you know, getting that P bag instead of a good item, and Trails finding Karok right away, just like he did with Guma. So I think Trails is actually in the lead right now.
Trails
Not
has
by
the star
much.
sense of always going in the right direction. Here he's like, I don't need to go find the item room. I'm just gonna go find the boss room.
Mm-hmm. And he knows, you know, now that he has all the spells that he needs, the chances that he needs another item are very slim.
Yeah, so they may already be in full Loma right now. We're gonna see how they choose to route the remaining dungeons.
Now, is he going to look for the jump spell to help in GP? I don't think he will. I think he's just going to go.
He might step in a town like that's on his path on his way just to grab a free spell on the way through. It's usually worth it. It was like picking up a jump spell in like a free open town will save you probably more time than not picking it up, considering many honeycomb rooms.
Yeah. It also is nice in the upstab block, although you can still do it with Fairy, and they've got Fairy, so... That's what I was thinking initially, but then I forgot that they already had Fairy, so...
We have still yet to see Maze Island. We haven't seen it yet in the seed. Rose City Sanct is going down the troll path right here. As you can see, it just... Yellow block road to nothing.
Mm-hmm. Trails picking up his attack 5. Sorry, RCS. Brain. And Trails has found Maze Island, which is, of course, going to have a palace in there. It is a little bit harder to navigate usually, unless you have the boots. So it's going to take a little longer.
He's not going to be going to look for the item in here, but he'll be pretty happy if he does find something like the boots on his way. We'll see how many of the 7 encounter screens he picks up on Maze Island. He's got...
That's a lot, and he doesn't find the boots. I'm going to predict that... Oh, he's getting this Fairy Feet. He got it. Nice. Yeah, if he doesn't pick up the boots along the way, he'll probably just up an A instead of going through all these encounters again after finishing the palace.
But like you see the way this maze island is kind of like set itself up. It's like they have to walk in a big circle all the way around to get to the center.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, even boots wouldn't really help this that much.
I think Rosty Saint just got the shield spell on Old Kasuda? Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I kind of feel like since Trails has seen this many encounters and he's covered this much, he might as well just check those little other paths to the side. Well, there's one item.
Oh, he's going to be walking his way back out of here. So
Hammer.
He'll make his decision, I guess, when he walks out, or he's going to up A and reset back. Ooh, hammer. He might not end up ever using that. I doubt he's going to go back to the west, use it on any of those blocks, and he might grab a spell and nuke a pseudo with it, but I'm not sure if he's going to be really using the hammer.
Yeah, it's tempting, because, you know, Nukasuda's got 3 things you can get, but at the same time, it takes a while to get them.
When
yeah, he's just pedal to the metal.
Level playing right now, every time you go to grab that one extra item when you know that you're already in go mode, you're pretty much like you're giving us like a reason for your opponent to come ahead of you here. Like you're giving them like methods to come back into the game. We've got Palace 6 for Trail Z on Maze Island. Rosity Saint will be there.
Yeah, Trails doesn't need anything else probably. We haven't seen the last Palace. Was it P2? But or
P2 is
P1?
likely on Death Valley, right? We haven't seen the Death Valley dungeon.
It's going to be.
Mine too.
There we go. Well, I can hear it, at least. It's not enough, though. Oh, there we go. Okay, I can see it again. Yo, Duster! Yeah, you're right, Korak. Hammer is about the best item he could have hoped to get there. The boots would have led to 1 extra item, and you kind of got to go out of your way to get that, depending on where he is. Well, I guess Hammer would have led to 3 items, but you don't want to go to 3 different places. Oh man, I'm confusing myself. Yeah, Hammer's the best. There we go. Game over. That's it. Maybe I should sleep before I do these commentaries.
So this is the type of situation where Pogo downstabbing Rebo works against you here when you have already like 5 attack and it only takes 5 hits to Roasty Saint realizing that and just jumping off and smacking him.
Yeah. It's possible to get sort of an unlucky position after the initial Pogo, and it could take a few seconds before Rubenet gets into the position where he can actually do damage to him.
Unlucky position? I'm pretty sure like vanilla players will say that's just, you're just bad.
No, I mean like, he's a little too far right to do damage initially, etc., etc. But yeah, you can place yourself so that you get the jackhammer consistently. That's for sure. Nice little swag jump from Trails.
He's got no magic. He ain't going that direction.
Difference in colors between these players' setups. Trails is in the Blood Palace, and RCS is in the Wine Palace.
Yeah, RCS got more of like a purple tint to his on his screen. Trail Z finding the boss.
How?
Barba.
How does he do it?
Yeah, but he still hasn't figured out how to get Barba to come out of the proper hole yet. He's only done this like bottom 500 times. One day he'll figure it out.
I get a little nervous, you know, trying to go through there without letting off the D-pad. You're like, and you can take a dip in the lava. Yeah, he should have enough practice to do that for sure. Pretty good. Oh, almost bathed himself right there. Oh!
I think Trail Z decided that this fight works a lot better when you have the jump spell, so he's like, let's just do a do-over.
I don't think Trails likes to jackhammer, though.
You don't need to jackhammer, you can, but with the jump spell, even if you don't jackhammer, you can get about like 8 to 9 hits every cycle that he comes up, if you just do some practice.
Oh, where did Trails pick up jump?
Probably the same place where Rose City Saint picked up jump.
Alright, fair enough. RCS could actually finish his first if he jackhammered, but he's not going to do that. He never jackhammers, because he's not fun.
Okay, so if you do
RCS.
a jackhammer at the start of the fight on Barba, you can get about 15 hits on the very first cycle that he comes up, at least, or close around 15. If you don't do that, then you're looking at about like 8 to 9 hits, I guess, on your first cycle.
No, I think you'd be happy with 5 hits.
Well, you might be happy with 5 hits, but you can get 9 hits. You just practice.
Well, I mean, you know, you can show me sometime.
Yeah.
But yeah, with jackhammering, there's like a very high theoretical limit for the number of hits. Like, if you had a task bot or something...
So this was actually really good for Rose City Saint. He came into Palace 6, like, way behind Trail Z, and somehow he closes it out not too far behind at all. Meanwhile, Yunus will be making his way over to Palace 6 as he's going through Maze Island at the moment.
I'm actually surprised that Trails is doing it this way, walking back through all these encounters instead of just up and in. But RCS is too, so I guess they both figure it's faster this way.
RCS, however, has the difficulty or the problem of not having Palace 5 done because he chose to look through Death Mountain, I guess, instead. So he's like a dungeon behind the other racers here.
Mm-hmm. That is absolutely correct. Oh, and Trails got lost. It's going to cost a little bit more time.
Yeah, we've got 2 dungeons left to find, one in Death Valley and one just sitting out somewhere on the east. 2 nice dungeons, Palace 1 and Palace 2. They can be completed pretty quickly. Unfortunately for both of our players, or all of our players, none of them have the boots. Would have made getting out of this Maze Island a little bit easier.
Hey, that
item finds the magic key, but he's probably never going to use it. Like, really need it, honestly.
Yeah, but he hasn't done P6 yet.
P6, we'll see what route he takes. He's been looking for a bunch of extra keys throughout the seed, so he might even just have some of those on the backhand anyways. But yeah, the Master Key is nice. You won't have to worry about casting Fairy to get through the first door here.
You know, it'd be evil if Digshake put a door in the hallway leading to Thunderbird, so you never go in there with full magic. Oh wait, you couldn't fight Thunderbird with Fairy anyway. Yeah, you get the idea. Alright, looks like they both Trails and RCS are on the open plains, and RCS is being a little bit faster in the overworld.
We have
and they
access
found that
to
last
both
palace.
1 and 2 right now, as seen on Rose City Saint's screen.
Mm-hmm. So they're both very easy to access, yeah.
Trail Z is probably going to be entering Death... they're probably going to be starting to hit the Great Palace before the hour mark here on this seed. These dungeons probably going to take them less than 5 minutes each to complete.
Mm-hmm. A Clinch Reflect cast by Yunus saved him from a hammer. That was pretty quick.
I'm surprised that Trail's decision to go left to look for the item, maybe just wanted one small thing. Works in his favor. First room is the item room, but we'll see which item it is.
It's the boots. That's interesting, but not terribly useful.
Yeah, he's never going to use those boots. It would have been useful right before going to Palace 6, but unfortunately, that's not the way it is today.
Yeah, I mean, I would have skipped the item here, but my feet would have been less stylish. So, who's the real winner?
Rose City Saint, finding the boss first.
And that's one dead horse head. We're going to see P2 in just a sec. How long was that? Like 2 minutes? Less?
Yeah, really fast dungeon, about 2 minutes. Maybe less. Rose City Saint probably was only in there for like a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm. Well, the boots are going to come in handy for trails. He's going to be able to walk straight through that lake.
One encounter here going around. Rose doesn't even pick up the encounter. He just is able to navigate his way.
Fortunately, the lava encounters were randomized to swamp, so nice and cozy. He got the fairy feet, very nice. More to come though. There we go. This is why I can't win.
Really nice, quick fairy feats through. We'll be entering Palace 2 here. I don't suppose any racers are going to be looking to take any lefts here. They're going to be wanting to find that boss right away, grabbing all the right.
Yeah. And knowing P2, that means that the boss is on the last left. The last place you're going to tick. Because RCS still hasn't validated his seed. So we have to see the seed validating room. The fake boss room.
Okay, we got Unos here. He's gonna downstab the heck out of this boss. Watch this.
If he downstabs Guma, he's gonna downstab. Oh
no! Okay. Well, you lose your first life. You still got 2 more.
Yeah, he's still gonna do it. Doesn't matter. Unos doesn't care. Do it! Oh, there we go. One cycle.
Hits on him. Nice.
He is attack level 7, but you know that's still really fast. You know the other racers, it was what, like 6 or 7 or 8 cycles. Just one cycle for Unos.
Like the other runners have been just taking their levels normally. Kind of usually what you do in a randomizer, but with the 8 heart containers, Unos has said, I don't need any more life levels, really. I can just focus on overflowing to those attack levels, which he was doing to get the life set to attack 7.
Yeah, which can be hard to do sometimes. It does take a little more planning than that, especially when you're up and A-ing and stuff to reset back at Northern Palace.
So I didn't even really watch Rose City Saints or Trails, but apparently they found the boss, and he's already down. Meaning Trails is going to be in GP, Rose is about to go to Palace 5, and Unos made a horrible mistake of, well, maybe I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not. He up-A'd back to start, meaning he has to go back over the raft and finding Palace 1 and 2 on the east.
Well, yeah, he was in P6. He like me, would not have wanted to go through all those encounters anymore, but it was a little ways back.
I don't know how he gets himself over to Palace 1 and Palace 2. Like, you had to go all the way around the continent from the Maze Island dock. We only found that out with Rose and Trails, unless Unos grabs a lucky cave here.
And I know there wasn't...
maybe you'll find the one that Rose took.
Yeah. There wasn't a cave that led to... that led directly to P1 and P2, so it'd be a little bit further back. I still think, it's kind of a wash in terms of time. Probably. Hopefully.
So, Thunderbird, I believe, is required in this seed here. It's not max rando, so we will get a bird fight.
Trails first in. 54 minutes, 24 seconds. Yeah, I think, Trails pulled ahead of Unos about 15 or 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was just right when Trails finished Palace 5. I think he even had a better Palace 5 route than Yunos. He didn't go back looking for the item in Palace 5. Yunos spent more time going back and around Jira looking for the item. And then Palace Trails had the very lucky Palace 4 where he just like ran right to the boss.
Yeah, I guess between those two things, he probably saved 4 or 5 minutes, maybe?
And Rose, he's kind of behind right now because he decided to go find those 2 enclosed locations on the east, one through the cave, one in the Death Valley Pass, and then he took the Death Mountain Hammer Cave, which didn't really get him any.
Well, Yunos got back to the palaces pretty quick, although he is making the mistake of going to Death Mountain immediately instead of just checking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
He wants to just see that little corner in there. It'd be really bad to go to the Death Valley dungeon and where I'm.
Yeah, you're halfway through Death Valley, and then you see the other palace, and you're like, dang it! Yep, Trail's taking the Eon drop. No surprise.
I think he kind of has to. Didn't he run into a dead end on the other side of it? So.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. And
But Trails has found the Thunderbird. It seems like a very linear Great Palace to me. Like you're pretty much forced to find the Thunderbird on your route through.
Well, in that case, the maze is yet to come.
Yeah. After the Thunderbird, then I could throw you all the way around the dungeon. I don't suspect Dark Link is going to be like in the next room. I don't think we missed it.
He can't be literally in the next room, but he could be pretty close theoretically. I hope he's not, because I want a little more race yet.
Yeah, under Trail's own words, whatever it takes to draw up the seed any longer. He loves it.
Yeah, he loves this Zelda 2 game.
Well, he's got to beat this seed in 3 minutes if he wants a sub-hour. Everyone always likes to get sub-hour seeds, especially when it's something like a 6-gem seed here.
Oh, what?
Oh
my gosh. So there was a left somewhere that nobody went to that had all the rest of the palace.
Yeah, and for your efforts, you find a little dig shake in an abandoned room at the end. Anyways...
So, like, literally, the whole rest of the palace is left from start. It's a lonely palace.
With a first place time of 57 minutes, 39 seconds. First place goes to Trail Z. Can we get a congratulations for a winner here? GG, Trail.
GG Trails.
Now, second place here could go to Rose City Saint or Yunos, depending on how fast they complete their respective dungeons here. They're pretty close to each other.
Alright, Trails is saying he can't interview with us, but he's going to join the chat.
It'll be a mystery to all of us how he just won this thing, but, you know.
Yeah, the other racers, they gotta feel like they're very far behind. Well, they're not gonna realize just how
I'm not sure if they feel they're far behind. They both are on their last dungeons. They know Great Palace is right next to start. For all they know, Dark Link is in the first room, and, well, pretty much was close enough.
Yeah, but it's... I know what you're saying. They are on their last palaces, but...
I'm more curious to see who's going to finish first, second, Rose City Saint or Yunos. They're going to be finishing their dungeons around the same time.
RCS, totally. Because look, he's at the boss, and P5 is right next to GP.
Oh yeah, I forgot, he's also in Palace 5. He doesn't have to go back to the North Palace.
Oh, we got simul deaths.
There's still enough time for Yunos to make a bit of an upset here and take the second place, depending on how Rose City Saint does his Great Palace.
I knew that Yunos would burn that gem. RCS does not like to burn gems, though. And I guess he doesn't really have to. Keep walking.
Yeah, Trozy, you smashed the seed pretty good. Mostly for the most part, you took the same route as the other runners, except they decided to look for a few extra things and got lost in a few extra places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like,
we were.
Unos went back to look for the item in Palace 5. I believe it ended up being like a point bag. You both were in there at the same time. Rose City Saint, he got kind of lost on the east exploring all the dead ends. He didn't stay as long as you guys on the west.
Yeah, and you cleared P5 really fast, in addition to just not getting the item, and you also cleared P4 really fast. Whereas I know it took RCS a long time to
head start against Unos, but here's the thing, Unos has level 7 attack, so he might beat the bird like a hit or two faster.
That is correct. I mean, personally, I prefer to have Unos's levels compared to RCS's levels.
So Trails, I know, turn back to go. Oh yeah, so there is a dead end room. So Road City Saint is going to be on the path to that drop here.
Yep, he's heading that way first. Whoever gets in the hole first wins. Probably.
What?
Well, probably.
You know, the Thunderbird fight, like, there's a big difference between attack 6 and 7, especially when you have like a vanilla runner like Unos who can cast jump and hit Thunderbird 6 times right at the start of the fight.
Yeah, that's
true.
true.
Help him come back a little bit.
At attack 7 with jump, you can do the Panic Dolphin pretty successfully. Sorry, attack 7, yeah.
And there's also Dark Link. It's like you could troll Rose City Saint for all we know. Like it just takes one Dark Link jump. Oh no.
Oh,
okay.
Yep, there we go.
Almost kind of ruining himself there.
Still
might
did
have
cost him
actually
like
slowed him down enough.
Yeah,
that's costly. At this point between where Rose is right now, this has got to be the greatest fight for Unos ever. Right?
And if anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be Unos. Oh wow, he's doing this so much faster.
Wow! You guys, like, these vanilla runners, they know how to kill a Thunderbird. Like,
yeah,
with all the things they have with the jump and all that.
It is funny
so
watching
it. It's all down to Dark Link. Rose City Saint lost his advantage.
It is kind of funny watching, fresh runners from vanilla coming to Thunderbird with attack 5 and trying that and then not working out. Not funny, but there's some strategies that you can do with a higher attack level, and some that you can't. Oh wow!
Well, this is going to be GG to our runners here. Second place goes to Unos, and third place will go to Rose City.
I think that RCS had a slightly faster Dark Link fight, but it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, there was a 7-second difference between the players here, from 103.02 for Unos and 103.09 for Rose City Saint. I told you, it all came down to that Thunderbird fight. Unos was just ready there to smack him up with everything he had. Rose was just like, I'm going to go do the usual, no jump, take it slow and safe. That slow and safe cost him the race.
Mm-hmm. But that was really, like, in that last couple seconds of the race, it was swinging back and forth. We were thinking that 5 seconds to check up might have cost Unos his second place victory, and then, the Thunderbird was so much faster for Unos, but then he was a little slow.
Unos made the right call in skipping the life level and going right to that attack 7. Like, he was skipping life and magic levels, and it worked out in his favor in the very end for the final guy here. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, was not enough to catch the Trail Z.
Well, Light, 5.5 minutes is a pretty sizable difference, but last weekly, Trails was like 25 minutes ahead of, like 15 minutes ahead of second place, so Trails is not to be underestimated.
I'm not sure if one of these players wants to come in here and let us know how the seed was for them. Well, Rose City Saint usually likes complaining. Let's see if he wants to join in here. Oh man, those boots in Palace 1
So
trails.
flinch.
I'm not even sure if it honestly saved you time, seeing as you had to go left that one square anyways over to the room to get the boots. But
Yeah, it's an academic point at this at this.
Would have been
Yeah.
nice to have those boots before going to Maze Island, but, you know, c'est la vie.
Yep. Let's see. Nobody's responded on whether they want to talk yet.
Yeah, I was expecting like a seed like this to take around an hour and a half tonight, but these runners, all three of them, top shape, top form, a race within 5 minutes between like 3 players is pretty good actually, especially when they're like all around the hour mark or sub-hour for even Trails tonight. That's probably one of his fastest 6-gem clear times ever.
Yeah, definitely. 6 gems in less than an hour. Definitely something to be proud of. How did you get to Valley of Death without boots, Trails? You just walk around the lake.
Yeah, you could literally just walk around that small little lake right there.
But yeah, it was kind of funny when you pick those boots up. We were like, well, I mean, he can walk over the lake.
I guess the only real difference between our runners in the seed, Trail Z and Unos, they pretty much follow the same path on the west. Rose City Saint, instead of going into Palace 5, decided to dive Death Mountain here.
Mhm.
He found the Hammer Cave, goes all the way into the Hammer Cave to get a pea bag in there, so he probably wasn't too happy with that. That put him a bit behind, so he just dove the east instead of going to Palace 5. Trails Unos finished Palace 5 around the same time, but Unos went back to go look for the item. And since he went back to look for the item, he wasn't able to catch back up to Trail Z from there. And Trail Z heading on to the east with the 2 dungeons completed. Rose City Saints, like, I'm going to go look for caves on the east, and finds all the enclosed dead-end locations. So that doesn't help him. But even so, like, 5 minutes around our racers together, pretty good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see on Unos' screen one of his other games he's an excellent runner at. Unos is not good just at Zelda 2. He's also quite excellent at Zelda 1, and he's done some sprite editing for that game too.
Well,
looks like he's just practicing.
We didn't have a full crew of people tonight, so we only have three runners going. All 3 runners finished, so that is going to be the end of the race here. It's not like we have 8 or 10 people to slowly switch to as people start finishing. So, and it doesn't look like anyone's up for commentary tonight after a race. Is probably tired, happy with their quick win here, and just wanted to get to bed.
Yep, absolutely. So let's see, what is it?
Do we know what's up next on Speed Gaming? Well, probably nothing on Speed Gaming 4, actually.
Yeah, we have a Link to the Past Randomizer League, the Immortals of Fendrana Drifters, whatever that is. We have that on Speed Gaming. We've got the daily race of a Link to the Past Randomizer on Speed Gaming 5. We have, you might be able to catch the tail end of Donkey Kong Country 3. Get it? Because you're Diddy in Donkey Kong Country 3, I think. Tail. He's a monkey.
We get it.
Oh, I just want to make sure. And then in about an hour, you'll have a Zelda 1 randomizer on Speed Gaming 2. That'll be fun to watch.
Right. Well, I'm pretty interested in seeing maybe 1 or 2 of these games tonight before I pass out. So, anyways, thanks to our runners, thanks to all of our viewers here. Subscribe to our runners, follow them, help them out. Same with us too. I'm gonna post.
Nice. Yeah, and thanks a lot for LJM Neen, or LJM Neen, I'm gonna call him.
He was our hidden tracker for the evening, popping things in while we're talking here.
Yeah, and he did a good job tracking. And of course, thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us our weekly again, and all our viewers, of course. And it would be pretty boring without any viewers.
Anyways, I think that's it for tonight for Zelda 2. We have more Zelda 2 Max Rando coming up, I believe, early Thursday morning, like 12:30 a.m. A race between Bent Glass Tube and Buzz Thunder. But other than that, I don't see much. We're in the middle of a Zelda 2 Max Rando tournament, but not many of the games have been scheduled yet for this week.
Mm-hmm. But we should begin some really hot races in the Z2R tournament pretty soon.
Yeah, they are getting pretty close to the finals here. Not too many games. Well, with that, I'm gonna head out now. Good night, everybody. Q out, and thanks for watching.
Good night, everyone.